Beloved heart, before we begin, I have a special gift for you. If you've been feeling the intensity of Earth's rising plasma light codes and want to stay centered in your body and heart and energy field, I've created a free light language quantum grounding activation just for you. This transmission will help you stabilize, integrate, and align with the new frequencies flowing onto the planet. Simply join my mailing list. See the link that's in the show notes to receive instant access. Let's ground into the light together.
This is the transfiguration of the new you. Hello, beloved. Welcome back to another episode of my podcast. I am the host for this podcast, Monica Bermudez. I want to talk about the rise of the Cosmic Matriarch frequencies. There is an extreme rise in frequency as the Schumann resonance is showing. So the Schumann resonance itself is a measurement of the heart, the Earth's heartbeat, and it measures the electromagnetic frequencies. And so it has been spiking significantly when there's like a lot of white in the chart itself. That's an indication that there is a lot of spike going on with the electromagnetic frequency. So I call these more of a truce frequency, or now what I'm sensing now for this month of May is a cosmic matriarch frequency of energies. I'm sensing more of the matriarch energy rising a lot more on the planet because we are definitely in this new Earth wave of cosmic energies, of new codes that our DNA is being upgraded as well. So we are definitely feeling it a lot more. It doesn't feel like my usual planet anymore. It does feel like a very much like a new Earth planet, like a new dimensional space that we're in. So that's why I want to talk about this matriarch frequency energy for this episode itself and dedicate some information on this, as well as share three practical guides for riding these cosmic waves of this matriarch frequency energy. We've been for so long, right, through the old structures, as I'll share in here, associated more with the what I would call the toxic patriarch energy. So it was all about the father, being very aggressive, being very assertive, being very competitive, being about separation, and division. And so that's really what's also playing out significantly right now. It's almost like the old systems want to grab a hold of us and control us through fear mongering of, a lot of events that and games that are being played out in order to keep us separated, divided, because a lot of what the shadow knows that when we come together, there's going to be a much greater strength in numbers when we're able to come together in different ways to come with creative, solutions for the planet, creative solutions for all of us that are more sustainable for our divine right to be in our divine wealth, in our divine abundance, and it is our divine right. And so there is an aspect of us that we must emphasize that we don't consent to any form of use of our energy in any other form that is not of the light, that is not of love or compassion. And we can make those pledges to ourselves and declarations to say that you rather pledge your allegiance in your declaration, say, for example, to the Christ light, to the light of the greater light that you hold within yourself and the divinity and so forth. So today we're diving into something that many sensitive souls, intuitives, empaths, and leaders and awakening beings are deeply feeling right now, and the rise of the cosmic matriarch energy and the accelerated waves of change moving through our planet. So this is also an association to the rise of divine feminine energy. And I do feel that there is a form of, this toxic patriarch energy that is shifting in conformity with this new rise of this matriarch frequency energy that's streaming in the planet right now for this new earth. And so there is this renewal, I would say, of the patriarch energy because there is the union of the matriarch with the patriarch. That's the divine mother and the divine father union coming together. So there is this twin flame energy as well. And it is all associated to the divine feminine and the divine masculine energy as well of this balance. There is a powerful shift happening collectively. Many are sensing timelines collapsing, emotional purging, identity shifts, and relationship changes, and a call to live with deeper truth, authenticity, and discernment. It can feel intense, it can feel rapid, and at times it can feel like overwhelming as well. But what if these waves are not here to destroy us, but rather just to really awaken us in a much deeper way? So it does feel like getting deeper into this rabbit hole, like the Alice in Wonderland type deal. The cosmic matriarch energy is not simply about gender, so it has nothing to do with being like physical male or female. This is something that is, collectively is an energy within all of us. It is an ancient frequency of wisdom, intuition, creation, nurturance, protection and leadership and sacred intelligence returning to the planet. So, for so long, humanity has been operating through imbalance, overvaluing force, control, performance, and burnout, survival, disconnection from the heart. So, there has been a lot of disconnection from self and our higher self as well. But now many are being called, there is this call of resonance through the heart that is happening right now. Many are being called back into a different way of living, a way rooted in inner knowing, a way that is rooted in connection, a way that is rooted in alignment rather than force. The cosmic matrix does not lead through this domination or force itself. It's more of an embodiment leadership, being through presence, being through discernment, through the ability to hold steady during these times of transformation. And this is why many people are currently feeling these energetic waves more intensely. Some connect these shifts, symbolically with things like the human resonance and the Earth's energetic fluctuations, because I really do feel that there is this connection, scientifically speaking, of the human resonance chart and what it is showing us right now in the spikes of these energies. And so, what others, may be feeling certain symptoms that come along with this as well. So, there is this emotional acceleration, a heightened intuition, vivid dreams, exhaustion, or deep awareness that really itself is changing. There's been a lot of sleepless nights as well, like sleep disruption. There is, the timeline itself feels very different. It doesn't feel the same to me, at least. There's times that where time just feels like it's at a standstill and it's almost like it's going through this elasticity. So it's a timeline, non-linear elasticity of like a rubber band type, analogy where it stretches so far, out, it's really accelerated, or it's in a complete standstill itself, and it's almost like it stops right there. So it is doing something for sure with the time. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who's feeling this. We are in this quantum space. So what I feel with all this timeline, weirdness and adjustment is that there is some form of recalibration because we're moving more towards this non-linear timeline. Obviously, time doesn't really exist. It never did, but we're feeling it a lot more than we used to from the old systems of the old Earth way, because the frequency on this planet definitely has really shifted in a really big way. We're definitely in this new Earth vibe and feeling more, I would say, of this split of, what is happening right now. So this, whether these are changes that are being interpreted spiritually, energetically, scientifically, or emotionally, or collectively, one thing is clear, and that is that humanity is moving through a major transition right now. The old structures are becoming harder to maintain. people are questioning everything, and for good reason. The questioning is a part of waking up and going deeper into the rabbit hole, but it is in a good way because you're getting to know yourself much more. And the questioning, goes around their purpose, their relationships, their careers, their health, their spirituality, and their connection to this earth, and even their understanding of reality itself, in the multidimensional aspects of self and who we are. So, in the middle of all this, the cosmic matriarch energy is asking us for a very powerful question right now. Can you remain centered while the world transforms around you? So, because this next era is not about escaping the planet, it's about becoming anchored enough to help stabilize the higher consciousness here on Earth. The new Earth is not simply a location, but it is more of a frequency of consciousness. It is created through the choices that we make daily or on a constant basis. How we treat others, how we treat ourselves, how we treat the Earth, how we treat, how we embody the integrity of things, and how we respond during uncertainty. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make during energetic acceleration is becoming consumed by fear, by chaos, paranoia, or spiritual overwhelm, or burnt out, or spiritual ego. The cosmic matrix does not feed the chaos. It really observes clearly and it feels deeply and remains in sovereign empowerment embodiment. She understands that discernment is sacred. And, not every message is truth, not every wave needs reaction, and not every emotional surge needs to become identity. Part of the spiritual maturity is learning how to witness intensity without becoming consumed by it. So, here I'm going to share these practical ways that we can prepare for and navigate these cosmic waves of change with this matriarch frequency of energies. So, number one is strengthen your inner discernment. This is one of the most important skills during accelerated times, and there's so much information that is flooding and being bombarded on us from everywhere through the social media, through the news outlets, through TV outlets, and so forth. There are so many voices, so many predictions out there, so many distractions. So it's really about where you want to, focus your attention. And it's about, the cosmic matriarch learns to pause before absorbing everything externally that is being, provided at this time. So it's like having, several cooks in a kitchen. Um, you probably want to, be able to discern which one is the best for you that resonates. Doesn't have to be several, it doesn't have to be all, it doesn't have to be like everything consumed all at once. So ask yourself this question: does this information create empowerment or fear? Beloved, if you're craving deeper connection, intuitive expansion, and consistent energetic support, join me inside the Frequency Resonance Lounge. This is a monthly MasterHeart Circle, moon ceremonies that includes the full and new moon, and a private community for connections. Link is in the show notes. Does it resonate with clarity or confusion? Does it help me become more grounded or more fragmented? And those are questions that would help you determine your discernment on the information that is being received. Your intuition becomes stronger when you create space to actually hear yourself. So spend time in stillness, reduce the noise, disconnect from constant stimulation that is being bombarded at this time. Your inner guidance becomes clearer when your nervous system and mind are not overloaded with information. Discernment is not judgment, it's really about the energetic wisdom. And so, number two is to ground into the physical earth often. One of the biggest challenges during energetic acceleration is becoming ungrounded. And this can become mentally, it could feel like mentally scattered, emotionally reactive, or spiritually disconnected from daily life. But the new Earth's frequencies are not asking us to abandon the physical reality. They're asking us to anchor in higher consciousness into it. So this means caring for your body, which is really the temple of your soul. So it is a very sacred space, I would say, for the expression of your soul itself. So resting when needed, hydrating, connecting with nature, and walking barefoot on earth, breathing in, like doing more breath work and breathing in deeply, simplifying your schedule when possible. And the body is the vessel carrying these higher frequencies. So your physical body is also adjusting itself to be able to hold higher pulsating or faster pulsating amount of frequency within the body itself, because we are all energy. And that's really what it is in essence about all our energy and the housing of our consciousness as well in these physical bodies in these physical forms. So in many, people are learning the spiritual growth is not about escaping humanity, it's not about escaping, here in themselves. It's really about fully embodying, inhabiting it with awareness, and the earth herself is teaching stabilization right now. So being more stable with these new frequencies of energies. And if you want to go deeper into this grounding, I do have that free transmission that is posted in my show notes. So you can just grab the link and you'll be added to my mailing list, of course, but the gift is that these are light language transmissions that will help you ground much deeper. So if you're not able to go out barefoot, um, you can use this energy transmission much faster way to ground. So the last thing on here, the third one, the top third one for this to take away is to lead with a more heart-centered wisdom. The rise of the cosmic matriarch is ultimately about the return of the heart intelligence. It's really about the sacred heart itself. And it's not anything to do about weakness, not anything to do with romance type thing, That's just one aspect of it, but it's not the all. So I think for so long the heart has been seen just as that, but it's really much more than anybody could ever imagine. It's really like the biggest center hub for our entire body's, reconnection. It is our sanctum, it is our sanctuary, it is the center of our temple that is dedicated within this sacred space that interconnects everything. Everything about us is very important within these physical bodies, this energetic body as well, and our temple, and that it all interconnects very well. And I always, say that the heart is where it all, stems from as being the center hub. Um, so this is about the why is compassion. And the heart itself is very multidimensional and it's even being measured right now through scientific means how strong the electromagnetic frequency energy is. So when you have a human resonance that is measuring the electromagnetic waves of the earth, there is this, indication that there is an interconnection going on because many call the human resonance to be the heartbeat of Earth. So our hearts are connected to the heart of Earth and the heart of the cosmic forces itself. So there is an interconnection with everything, and that is the quantum mechanics of things that is happening right now. So we're being asked to lead in a very different way now, different than it used to be. And so we're feeling called to something new, to communicate differently, to create differently, to build communities in a different way that is more in collaboration, that is more in coming together and not having to do things alone anymore. So this is a time to embody the emotional maturity, the healthy boundaries, the compassion, and the integrity. The old paradigm often rewarded, disconnection from the heart, but the frequencies rising now are amplifying authenticity. People can feel the energy more deeply than ever before, and this means your presence matters, your energy matters. How you treat others matters, how you treat yourself matters, and how you speak to yourself also matters. The cosmic matriarch understands that the power is not loud force, it is aligned presence. aligned presence within your own sacred heart space. As these waves continue increasing, some people may resist change while others awaken much rapidly and would embrace the change even more so without having to resist it. Because the more resistance there is, the harder it becomes, for these changes to come in itself, to be, in this quantum space right now. So be gentle with yourself through this process. Not everyone is meant to understand your path immediately, and not every season requires constant action. Sometimes, transformation happens in silence, and sometimes growth happens through the rest. So there's a lot that may be happening through sleep, through rest, um, in integration of more energies itself. And sometimes the greatest leadership comes through steady embodiment rather than performance. So remember this: you do not need to fear the waves. You are learning how to serve them in this with greater consciousness. And the rise of the cosmic matriarch is ultimately a return of your wisdom, a return of your intuition, a return of your sacred balance, and a return of living in a deeper harmony with both earth and the soul. So that's why there's also remembrance within. So thank you for being here with me today. And as always, continue honoring your discernment, your heart, and your inner guidance as we move through these powerful planetary shifts together. So until next time, I'm sending you so much love and clarity through these changing times itself. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to click like, save, and share with others so they can also experience what you just experienced. And stay tuned for some more high vibe episodes. And I'll be connecting with you in the next quantum field. Sending you so much love.